So it feels to you that you have a physiological habit that is holding you to something?
Yes. On one hand, I get all this. On one hand, I say, oh, I want to be free from cigarettes, or I'm free from it already. On the other hand, I have this thing going on that there is a habit, it is an addictive habit, and that I can't. So...
Well, is a habit in and of itself a bad thing?
No.
So would you say that a habit is momentum?
Absolutely.
And would you say that momentum and habit and law of attraction are all inextricably tied? They're all the same thing?
Yes.
And do you agree that momentum is, because of law of attraction, something that becomes more and more and more and more? Do you believe that this is a universe that is based upon attraction and not assertion? So when you decide that you're not going to do something, you actually are doing that thing that you've decided that you're not going to do.
Yeah.
Because there's no such thing as no in a universe that is yes-based, attraction-based. So when you say, I'm not going to think that thought, you're thinking that thought that you're not going to think. You're thinking about that thing that you don't want to do. You're doing more of that thing. You're activating it. And so then law of attraction is perpetuating the very thing that you do not want. So this is really a good conversation. Oh, it fits so perfectly into everything else that we've been talking about. Because we said to you something that you must think was rather impertinent. We said the way you stop doubt is to catch it before you start it. Which is great unless you've got doubt. So that is as ridiculous sounding as that the way you stop smoking is just never start it. If you just don't start smoking, then you'll never have to stop. Which is great unless you're already smoking. So how do you reset that button? Well, what we're encouraging you to do is to accept, maybe for the first time, really fully. This will help you. That's what this is all about. Accept for the first time that you are a vibrational being living in a vibrational universe. And that vibration, because it is managed by law of attraction and vibration are really beneficial to you if you start the momentum the way you want to. So right in the middle of the action or the activity of doing something that you don't want to do, is it possible to start a different vibration? What's the path of least resistance? What do you think that we are seeing as the path of least resistance? What's at the never-ending end of your path of least resistance? Do you think it's that we want you to stop smoking, or do you think it's that we want you to find alignment?
Find alignment.
Can you find alignment whether you're smoking or not? That's the question, you see. Because in this environment, almost no one leaves you alone about it. There's so much condemnation about it that you feel guilty when you smoke. Nothing is worse than doing something that you believe that you should not be doing. That causes so much resistance and makes it impossible to quit. Because you're not closing the vibrational gap, you see. You got to close that vibrational gap. And then you'll be inspired. You'll be inspired. You'll find yourself wanting to move more. You'll find yourself doing all kinds of things. That void that is being filled by the satisfaction of smoking will be filled in other ways, you see. How does smoking currently make you feel?
Guilty.
Guilty. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Guilty. That's just inconceivable to us, that you have put yourselves in a place of caring so much about what others think that you actually now feel guilty about doing something that at least large, loud ones of them are saying about it. So you feel guilty because, let's just touch around that for a moment. Because
I feel guilty because I don't want to smoke, but I continue to do it.
So you feel guilty because you feel powerless.
Yes.
You feel guilty because you can't buck your own current? Are you kidding? Now, we're having fun with you because we really want you to hear this. We're trying to soothe that and soften it. I feel guilty because I can't buck my own current. That's like saying, I feel guilty because I cannot defy the laws of the universe. That's the same statement. I feel guilty because I cannot buck my own current. So now can you say that better? I don't want to feel guilty about not being able to buck my own current or buck the laws of the universe. I feel uncomfortable that I'm not more in alignment and following my own impulse. I know that I eventually can do that. I don't believe that there's any wrongdoing here. I think I've got a habit of thought. We want to inspire you into alignment. We don't want you to stop smoking because smoking is bad for you, but we don't want you to do anything that is causing you discord. And we believe, because we believe that your desire is sincere, that when you are able to relieve the discord, that the habit will follow, that the inspiration will follow.
So my new story is that I'm feeling joy on the ride to being smoke-free.
That's a good way of saying it. Let's play around with that. So, do you smoke?
Yes.
Yes. Do you feel guilty about it?
No.
I found that my guilt was holding me back. I was throwing thoughts on the trail that produced guilt and slowing down my path to get what I wanted. You hearing this? So, are you proud of smoking?
Yes.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Are you?
I'm proud that I'm on the road to being smoke-free. I feel good and joy that I'm on that road.
I'm pleased that this experience of smoking has instigated or inspired within me an understanding about how behavior follows vibration, and that if I try to change behavior before I've changed vibration, it doesn't work. I've proven that to myself. So now I'm blessing this habit of smoking that is giving me the reason to close the gap in my vibration, because what I really like, I like feeling frisky, I like breathing deeply, I like feeling good, I like my body responding well, I like being clear-minded, I like feeling good, I like following my inspiration, I like, this is the biggest part of it, I like being in control of my own behavior. I want to set the record straight. I want to set the record straight with the cells of my body. I want to set the record straight. I want to currently exude a vibration that is accurately reflected of who I now am and what I now want. Can you feel how good that feels? Are you still smoking? Yeah. Did that stop any of that other from being true? No. And as that's your story, and that's the story you stick to, it is our on not just that, but anything that feels hindering in nature. Before you know it, you will be in vibrational alignment with who you are. And here's something really worth thinking about. How are you doing with all of this? Are you following? So here you are. You don't want to live conditionally. You want to start at the early stages and feel good, and it's a little boring, but you're willing to try it. And so you find good feeling place, and you find good feeling place, and now you're a few days into this, and you're beginning to notice that things really are working out for you. It's like everything is working out for you. Traffic flows better, parking places are waiting for you, people are nicer to you everywhere you go. The big benefit is you feel more clear-minded. When you walk out the door, an impulse of something to go pick up, so you didn't get halfway across the parking lot before you realized you'd left your keys in the drawer. All kinds of evidences of your alignment are beginning to happen in your experience. And so you are now experiencing the momentum of less and less resistance. And that's really what we are wanting to point you in the direction of. As you play with this just a little bit, what you begin to notice is that the evidence of what you're doing vibrationally is so abundant that then it begins to perpetuate itself. So this is the question that we have for you. So we're saying, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. We're saying pay no attention to the conditions. Don't use those to make you feel good or make you feel bad. Decide that you're going to live unconditionally by reaching for resistance-free conditions that you're sure of. So you reach for enough resistance-free conditions that you get momentum going, and now you've got momentum going, and now lovely conditions are showing themselves to you. And now lovely conditions are showing themselves to you. Can you feel how it just perpetuates and perpetuates and perpetuates more? And now you're standing in this place of knowing because you did it deliberately. You deliberately offered thought, and now you're seeing the results of your thoughts. And now can you see how you're sort of feeling of invincibility? That was what this whole subject is about. You don't want anyone or anything, even if it's your own mind, controlling you and keeping you from something that you want. And the guilt that you felt isn't about the things that other people are trying to make you feel guilty about it. It's that you were not doing what you mean to do, and you didn't know what to do about not doing what you mean to do because you really mean to do it, but you can't buck your own current. You all get that now, don't you? So here are the things that we encourage. First of all, stop beating up on yourself. That's not closing the gap. Being mean to yourself about it. Being mean to yourself about it. And if there's somebody in your face that's giving you a hard time about anything, just say to them, I love you so much from a distance. Because I'm trying to start at the beginning of all this, and you make it really hard. You are conditioned that's sort of in my face. And I'm looking for some unconditional love. So take the path of least resistance. This is what we're asking you to do. So let's say you want to stop smoking. This is really good. Stay with us. So let's say you've decided, and you have, that you want to no longer smoke, or that you want to be free, good feeling in your body. So you've decided that. And there's somebody up close to you who wants to be a good friend and agrees and also wants you to stop smoking, who notices you have not yet stopped smoking and so is saying, you're still smoking. You know, that's not good for you. You really shouldn't be doing that. None of us like it. We want you to stop smoking. I really want you to stop smoking. It's really important to me that you stop smoking. And every time you see that person, that's what you get from them. So is spending time with a person like that your path of least resistance? Is someone reminding you of what you're not doing that you want to do, adding to your resistance or taking from your resistance?
Taking from, yeah.
So would it be totally inappropriate for you to move yourself into a position where it's easier for you to follow your path of least resistance? Humans, we love you so much, but you've sort of oriented yourself to say, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it in the most difficult of circumstances. Because if I do it in the most difficult of circumstances, then I will be rewarded mightily at the end of it. And we say, no, you won't. You can't get there from there. You cannot get there from there. Those who want to control your behavior so that they can feel better in their living of conditional love want to control your behavior, but how's it working out for you personally? You see what we're getting at? And do you want to be the one that holds the conditions for others? So you see how this works, whether it's someone who's playing with you or whether it's you who's playing with someone else. If you're asking yourself continually, what's the path of least resistance? For me to not put myself in the position where that person can harp at me about something that I'm resolving. Eventually, what's the path of least resistance? You may very well say, it's not the path of least resistance for me to stay away from that person who I love, who just has this one little idiosyncrasy that they're throwing at me. But now I'm so secure in my own alignment and my own vibration and my own trajectory and my own path of least resistance that now I'm living step 4. I can hear them in their discord and it doesn't throw me off my game. In time, you will be able to go anywhere, be with anyone, and it will be a path of no resistance for you because your current is so stable. That's what it's like to be tuned in, tapped in, turned on to source energy, to have all that power blowing through you, all that clarity, all that worthiness, all that knowing, all that love, all that non-physical beingness, all that you-ness, all that energy. And then the world looks so beautiful to you because none of it threatens you, because none of it can trip you.